Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Aditi Lumba with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually inaugurates and dedicates to the nation several development projects in Gujarat, asserts that infrastructure with its own character is the goal of the government. Prime Minister reviews COVID-19 situation with Chief Ministers of 6 states, calls for taking proactive measures to prevent possibility of third wave. Country witnessing consistent decline in daily active cases of COVID-19, says government. National recovery rate reaches 97.3%. Digital platform Kisan Sarthi launched to facilitate farmers to get right information in the desired language. Government launches 8 new routes to boost regional aerial connectivity from Madhya Pradesh to Maharashtra and Gujarat. Centre notifies jurisdiction of Krishna and Godavari River Management Boards. Indian photojournalist Danish Siddiqui killed while covering clashes in Spin Boldak district of Kandahar city in Afghanistan. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur expresses grief. And in cricket, ICC announces groups for T20 World Cup to be held later this year. India and Pakistan placed in same group. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also to help others to get vaccinated. We also advise the listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the government's aim is not to create only concrete structures, but to create better infrastructures which have their own characteristics. The Prime Minister was speaking after the dedication and inauguration of a slew of development projects at Gandhinagar and Ahmedabad in Gujarat through video conferencing this evening.
आज देश का लक्ष्य सिर्फ कंक्रीट के स्ट्रक्चर खड़ा करना नहीं है, बल्कि आज देश में ऐसे इंफ्रा का निर्माण हो रहा है जिनका अपना एक कैरेक्टर है। अब अर्बन डेवलपमेंट की पुरानी सोच को पीछे छोड़कर देश आधुनिकता की तरफ आगे बढ़ रहा है।
Among the projects, Mr. Modi inaugurated the newly built modern railway station of Gandhinagar and a 5-star hotel atop the railway station. The Prime Minister said that the necessities of the 21st century's India cannot be fulfilled by the thinking of 20th century.
21वीं सदी के भारत की जरूरत 20वीं सदी के तौर तरीकों से पूरी नहीं हो सकती और इसलिए रेलवे में नए सिरे से रिफॉर्म की जरूरत थी। हमने रेलवे को सिर्फ एक सर्विस के तौर पर नहीं, बल्कि एक एसेट के तौर पर विकसित करने के लिए काम शुरू किया। आज भारतीय रेल में सुविधा भी बढ़ी है, स्वच्छता भी बढ़ी है और स्पीड भी बढ़ी है। आने वाले दिनों में जैसे ही डेडिकेटेड फ्रेट कॉरिडोर शुरू हो जाएंगे, ट्रेनों की स्पीड और बढ़ेगी।
The Prime Minister said that the train of development for creating New India will continue to go ahead on the double track. Mr. Modi said one track is for modernization, while another track is for the welfare of farmers, poor and middle class people.
आज का दिन 21वीं सदी के भारत की आकांक्षाओं का, युवा भारत की भावनाओं और संभावनाओं का बहुत बड़ा प्रतीक है। साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी हो, बेहतर अर्बन लैंडस्केप हो या फिर कनेक्टिविटी का आधुनिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, नए भारत की नई पहचान में आज एक और कड़ी जुड़ रही है।
Referring to the inauguration of new projects at Gujarat Science City, Prime Minister Modi said this will help in the natural development of the children through learning and creativity. The Prime Minister also inaugurated an aquatic gallery, robotic gallery and nature park at Gujarat Science City.
साइंस सिटी एक ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट है जो रिक्रिएशन और क्रिएटिविटी को आपस में जोड़ता है। इसमें ऐसी रिक्रिएशन एक्टिविटीज हैं जो बच्चों में क्रिएटिविटी को बढ़ावा देती है। इसमें खेलकूद है, मौज मस्ती है और इसके साथ साथ ये बच्चों को कुछ नया सिखाने का प्लेटफॉर्म भी है।
Speaking on this occasion through video conferencing, Union Home Minister Amit Shah said that all the projects inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi are aimed to boost the infrastructure development and tourism sector. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today reviewed the COVID-19 situation with chief ministers of 6 states including Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Odisha, Maharashtra and Kerala. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister expressed concern over the rising number of COVID cases in these states. He said the states reporting higher new coronavirus cases need to take proactive measures to stop the possibility of a third wave of COVID-19. Mr. Modi said in the last few days, around 80% of new cases have come from Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Odisha, Maharashtra and Kerala.
बहुत जरूरी है कि जिन राज्यों में केसेस बढ़ रहे हैं उन्हें प्रोएक्टिव मेजर्स लेते हुए तीसरी लहर की किसी भी आशंका को रोकना होगा। एक्सपर्ट्स बताते हैं कि लंबे समय तक लगातार केसेस बढ़ने से कोरोना के वायरस में म्यूटेशन की आशंका बढ़ जाती है, नए नए वेरिएंट्स का खतरा बढ़ जाता है। इसलिए तीसरी लहर को रोकने के लिए कोरोना के खिलाफ प्रभावी कदम उठाया जाना नितांत आवश्यक है।
Mr. Modi urged states and union territories to focus on micro-containment zones. He stressed on the need to focus on test, track, treat and vaccinate approach.
तीसरी लहर को रोकने के लिए कोरोना के खिलाफ प्रभावी कदम उठाया जाना नितांत आवश्यक है। इस दिशा में स्ट्रेटेजी वही है जो आप अपने राज्यों में अपना चुके हैं, पूरे देश ने उसको लागू किया हुआ है और उसका एक अनुभव भी हमें है जो आपके लिए भी टेस्टेड एंड प्रूवन मेथड है। टेस्ट, ट्रैक, ट्रीट एंड टीका, इसी वैक्सीन की हमारी रणनीति फोकस करते हुए हमें आगे बढ़ना है।
The chief ministers talked about the steps taken to boost medical infrastructure and gave suggestions on dealing with any possible rise of cases in future.
Union Health Ministry has said that a consistent decline in daily active cases of COVID-19 and further improvement in recovery from infection is being noticed in the country. Addressing media in New Delhi this evening, Joint Secretary in the Health Ministry, Love Agarwal, said that continuous decline in daily cases is being noticed since India reported a peak with nearly 4,14,000 cases on 7th of May.
सेकेंड वेव में देश में 4,14,000 प्रतिरोध के औसत से केसेस आ रहे थे, जो अब काफी हद तक घट चुके हैं और पिछले 24 घंटे में देश में 38,049 केसेस रिपोर्ट हुए हैं। इसी के साथ एवरेज डेली केसेस जहां औसतन 3,87,029 केसेस प्रतिरोज 5 से 11 मई वाले हफ्ते में आ रहे थे, उसमें कंसिस्टेंट डिक्लाइन नोट हो रहा है और पिछले एक हफ्ते का अगर हम औसत देखें तो देश में प्रतिरोज करीब 40,000 केस औसतन रिपोर्ट हो रहे हैं।
On recovery rate from the infection, Mr. Agarwal said that the country is also witnessing a consistent increase in recovery rate. He said the overall national recovery rate has reached the mark of 97.3%.
जहां देश में 10 मई के समय पर 37 लाख के करीब केसेस थे, उसमें काफी कमी आई है और घटते घटते वह अब 4,30,000 केसेस एक्टिव केसेस की दृष्टि में आते हैं। उसी के साथ ही रिकवरी रेट जो देश में करीब 83% था 12 मई के समय पर, अब उसमें भी बढ़ोतरी हुई है, वह बढ़कर अब 97.3% हो चुका है।
Mr. Agarwal appealed to the people to continue to follow COVID-appropriate behavior like wearing a mask and maintaining social distance as a very effective tool in giving protection from COVID-19. He said, as we are dealing with an infectious disease, we should not let our guard down against the disease. More than 39 crore 53 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered so far in the country under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said over 38 lakh 78,000 vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. Niti Aayog member Health Dr. V.K. Paul said that a study conducted by Indian Council of Medical Research about vaccine effectiveness on high-risk police personnel suggested that 2 doses of vaccine were very successful in preventing 95% deaths due to COVID-19 in second wave driven by Delta variant. During media briefing in New Delhi, Dr. Paul said that the study was conducted on 1,17,524 police personnel in Tamil Nadu.
अगर हमने वैक्सीन का भी पूरा फायदा लेना है और जान भी बचानी है तो उसमें हमें याद रखना चाहिए कि मास्क भी पहनना जरूरी है। वैक्सीन इफेक्टिव हैं, वैक्सीन बचाते हैं और वैक्सीन में आने के बावजूद भी अगर इन्फेक्शन होती है तो वो माइल्ड होती है, हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन कम होता है और डेथ्स जो हैं वो लगभग ना के बराबर हो जाती हैं।
The Union Health Ministry has clarified that it has focused on ensuring children receive life-saving vaccines and a universal immunization program during COVID pandemic. It said that media reports alleging that lakhs of Indian children may have missed their routine vaccinations due to disruptions caused by COVID-19 are not based on facts. The ministry has said that India has achieved 99% DTP3 coverage in the first quarter of this year, which is the highest DTP3 coverage measured till date. A number of steps have been taken to mitigate the negative impact of COVID-19 on vaccination services. Our correspondent discusses some of them.
A national guideline to safely continue immunization services during the COVID-19 pandemic, including polio supplementary immunization activities, has been developed. In order to identify reasons for missed vaccine doses, monitoring and supervision is being done by state and district task forces for prompt corrective action. Intensified immunization drive under intensified Mission Indradhanush was conducted in 250 high-risk districts. In this drive, more than 9,50,000 children and 2,24,000 pregnant women were vaccinated. One national immunization round and two sub-national rounds have also been conducted to maintain high population immunity against polio. With Pragya Deora, Suparna Saikya, AIR News, Delhi.
World Health Organization WHO Director General Dr. Tedros has asked China to be transparent and open and to cooperate in the second phase of investigations into the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic in China. He said yesterday that investigations into the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic in China were being hampered by the lack of raw data on the first days of spread there and urged it to be more transparent. Speaking during a news conference yesterday, he said, "We owe it to millions who suffered and the millions who died to know what happened."
The News Services Division of All India Radio and its bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta Series, will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19 tonight. Dr. Sanjeev Saxena, Pushpavati Singhania Research Institute, PSRI, New Delhi, will participate in the live discussion. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually inaugurates and dedicates to the nation several development projects in Gujarat. Asserts that infrastructure with its own character is the goal of the government. Prime Minister reviews COVID-19 situation with chief ministers of 6 states, calls for taking proactive measures to prevent possibility of third wave. Country witnessing consistent decline in daily active cases of COVID-19, says government. National recovery rate reaches 97.3%. Digital platform Kisan Sarthi launched to facilitate farmers to get right information in their desired language. Government launches 8 new routes to boost regional aerial connectivity from Madhya Pradesh to Maharashtra and Gujarat. Centre notifies jurisdiction of Krishna and Godavari River Management Boards. Indian photojournalist Danish Siddiqui killed while covering clashes in Spilboldak district of Kandhar district in Afghanistan. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur expresses grief. And in cricket, ICC announces groups for T20 World Cup to be held later this year. India and Pakistan placed in same group. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे. The
The centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The child helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. Ayush COVID-19 Counselling helpline number is 14443 and MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
Welcome back. You are listening to the evening news. The government today launched digital platform Kisan Sarthi to facilitate farmers to get right information at the right time in the desired language. The platform Kisan Sarthi was jointly launched by Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar and Electronics and Information Technology Minister Ashwini Vaishnav through video conference on the occasion of the 93rd ICAR Foundation Day. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Vaishnav said farmers can avail personalized advisories on agriculture and allied areas directly from scientists of Krishi Vigyan Kendra through the digital platform. Ahead of the monsoon session of Parliament, Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu has tomorrow called a meeting of floor leaders representing the political parties in the upper house. During the meeting, Mr. Naidu is expected to discuss ways to ensure smooth functioning of the house during the session. On Sunday, the government has also convened an all-party meeting. During the meeting, it will seek support of political parties to ensure smooth functioning of both the houses of Parliament. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has also called a meeting of floor leaders on the same day. The monsoon session of Parliament will start on the 19th of this month and conclude on the 13th of August. The session will have 19 sittings of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In view of the session, BJP Parliamentary Party Executive Meeting will also be held on Sunday to chalk out strategy.
Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan and Tribal Affairs Minister Arjun Munda today jointly launched the School Innovation Ambassador Training Program. It aims to train 50,000 school teachers on innovation, entrepreneurship, design thinking, product development and idea generation. The program has been designed by Innovation Cell of the Ministry of Education and AICTE for school teachers. The training will be given in online mode only.
Power Minister R.K. Singh today released the 9th integrated ratings for state power distribution utilities in New Delhi. He appreciated that the annual integrated rating exercise covering 41 state power distribution utilities for the rating period 2019-20 has been completed with the enthusiastic participation of all the utilities. Mr. Singh said that the Indian power sector will benefit from a fair and accurate assessment of the true position of the distribution sector. He said this will help in assessing and improving its performance.
Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia today virtually flagged off 8 new routes bolstering the aerial connectivity from Madhya Pradesh to Maharashtra and Gujarat. Mr. Scindia congratulated the people of Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Gujarat on the commencement of the new flight operations. The commencement of these routes fulfills the objectives of Ministry of Civil Aviation to enhance the regional connectivity of the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities with the metro cities of the country. Besides, additional flights between the Delhi-Jabalpur route will also commence from 18th of this month onwards and Khajuraho-Delhi-Khajuraho flights from October onwards. The Minister expressed commitment to bolster regional air connectivity and take the Prime Minister's vision of Udan to greater heights. The government has issued 2 Gazette notifications for jurisdiction of Krishna and Godavari River Management Boards. The Jal Shakti Ministry has notified the jurisdiction of the 2 boards in terms of administration, regulation, operation and maintenance of listed projects in Godavari and Krishna rivers in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. The step is expected to ensure judicious utilization of water resources in the 2 states. The Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act 2014 contains provisions for the effective management of river waters in the 2 states. Constitution of Godavari and Krishna River Management Boards and the Constitution of an Apex Council for the supervision of the functioning of these boards is laid down in this Act.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has said India's focus in the last few years has been to rebuild links that were diminished by the colonial period. Speaking at a conference on connectivity at Tashkent today, the minister said the horizons extend from Vladivostok to the Gulf and East Africa. He added that the challenges towards Central Asia and Eurasia remain to be addressed. Indian photojournalist Danish Siddiqui was killed while covering clashes between Afghan security forces and Taliban fighters in Spin Boldak district of Kandahar city in Afghanistan today. He was covering the situation in Kandahar over the last couple of days. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur has expressed grief over the death of Indian photojournalist. He won the Pulitzer Prize for Photography and was embedded with Afghan forces in Kandahar. Sources said Indian embassy in Kabul is in touch with Afghan authorities to bring back the mortal remains of Danish Siddiqui. Sources also said that the body has been handed over by the Taliban to the International Committee of the Red Cross. They said External Affairs Ministry is actively facilitating the return of the body in coordination with Afghan authorities and the ICRC.
The Enforcement Directorate ED today said that a consortium of lenders led by State Bank of India has realized another 792.11 crore rupees by sale of shares belonging to Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi. The ED said with this, the total recovery from sale of assets of Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi now stands at 13,109 crore rupees. The ED has attached the assets under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Veteran actress Surekha Sikri passed away this morning following a cardiac arrest in Mumbai. The 75-year-old actress was suffering from complications arising out of a second brain stroke. An alumni of Aligarh Muslim University AMU and the National School of Drama NSD, Surekha was awarded with 3 national awards. She is also a recipient of Sangeet Natak Academy Award. She is best known for her work in films Mammo, Badhai Ho and TV shows Balika Vadhu. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
दुनिया रंग बिरंगी, खट्टे मीठे रसीले समाचारों का सतरंगी खजाना आकाशवाणी पर। खबरें होंगी हटकर, जानेंगे कुछ अलग, हंसेंगे खुलकर, करेंगे सजग। सुनना न भूलें सोमवार और मंगलवार आज सवेरे तथा शनिवार और रविवार कार्यक्रम परिक्रमा में।
Listeners from all across the country are participating in the Olympic quiz with AIR started by AIR News. Many listeners have emailed us the answers. The first correct answer to yesterday's question has been sent by Yudhveer Singh of Tehri Garhwal in Uttarakhand. He is the winner of a quiz. Many congratulations to Yudhveer from the entire team of AIR News. Yudhveer thanked AIR News on behalf of the entire state of Uttarakhand for winning the Olympic quiz and conveyed his best wishes to the Olympic team.
मैं युद्धवीर सिंह उत्तराखंड के टिहरी जिले के बनाली ग्राम से हूं। मैंने आकाशवाणी समाचार द्वारा चलाई जा रहे ओलंपिक क्विज में भाग लिया और मैं आज का विजेता बना। मैं बहुत खुश हूं और आकाशवाणी समाचार की पूरी टीम को धन्यवाद और शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं। जितने भी भारतीय खिलाड़ी टोक्यो के लिए रवाना होंगे उन्हें शुभकामनाएं और बधाई देता हूं कि वो अपना सर्वश्रेष्ठ प्रदर्शन करें और हमारे देश का नाम रोशन करें।
To participate in the Olympic quiz, tune into a program Sports Can at 7:20 p.m. every day.
In the run-up to the Tokyo Olympics, the News Services Division of All India Radio in its Sports Can program is broadcasting every day Olympics quiz with AIR News. Olympics quiz आकाशवाणी समाचार के साथ in Hindi. Every day, a question related to Olympics will be asked at the beginning and closing of the program. To participate in this program, listeners can send the replies by email on airsportscan@gmail.com. The first correct answer received through email will be adjudged the winner of the quiz. The name of the winner will be announced in SportsCan program the next day. It will also be flashed on AIR Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. The Sports Authority of India will provide India team jersey to the winner. So tune in to the SportsCan program every day at 7:20 p.m. on FM Gold and on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official.
In the special Olympic series of All India Radio News, today we talk about young player Vishnu Sarvanan, who made the country proud by securing the Olympic quota in sailing. After preparing in Malta, Vishnu reached Tokyo on Tuesday. A report.
This time in the sailing competition, all eyes will be on the country's young player Vishnu Sarvanandan, who has made the country proud by securing an Olympic quota in sailing. Vishnu qualified for the Tokyo Olympics by finishing second in the Asian qualifiers in Oman. In a conversation with All India Radio News, Vishnu shared how he developed interest in sailing.
पापा ने मुझे इंट्रोड्यूस किया इस स्पोर्ट में और जब मैं 9 साल का था तब सेलिंग स्टार्ट किया था। तभी से मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा क्योंकि ये बहुत करीब है नेचर से। तो धीरे धीरे मैं नेशनल चैंपियन बना। फिर उसके बाद YAI जो फेडरेशन है वो मुझे इंटरनेशनल के लिए भेज रहे थे, उसमें मैंने अच्छा किया।
Vishnu added that the top scheme of the government helped him a lot in his training. Best wishes of the entire nation are with Vishnu Sarvanandan, and hopefully his boat will be at the forefront in the ocean of Tokyo Olympics. Diksha Saxena, Sports Desk.
To boost the morale of the Indian players in the Tokyo Olympics, good wishes are pouring in from all across the country under the Cheer for India campaign. Neeraj Chopra is a strong contender for a medal in javelin throw. Neeraj's father, Satish Kumar Chopra, wished him the best through All India Radio News.
मैं नीरज चोपड़ा का पापा सतीश कुमार चोपड़ा बोल रहा हूँ। आकाशवाणी समाचार के माध्यम से मैं नीरज को पूरे परिवार की ओर से शुभकामनाएं और आशीर्वाद देता हूँ कि वो ओलंपिक में अच्छा प्रदर्शन करे, देश के लिए मेडल लाए और देश का नाम रोशन करे। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
The International Cricket Council today announced the groups for Men's T20 World Cup 2021 to be hosted by the Board of Control for Cricket in India BCCI at Oman in United Arab Emirates from 17th October to 14 November. The groups selected on the basis of team rankings as of 20th March 2021, defending champions West Indies are a part of Group 1 with former champions England, Australia, South Africa and 2 qualifiers from Round 1 joining them. India and Pakistan have been placed in the same group. In Group 2, it will comprise former champions India and Pakistan, New Zealand, Afghanistan and the other 2 qualifiers from Round 1. 8 teams will contest the first round, including automatic qualifiers, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, with the remaining 6 who booked their spot through the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Qualifier 2019. The tournament schedule will be announced in due course.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi is likely to experience generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature will hover between 28 and 37 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. In Chennai, rain or thunder showers would occur towards afternoon or evening. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Srinagar will experience mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. Leh is expected to have mainly clear sky. Gilgit will have mainly clear sky. Muzaffarabad will experience thunderstorms. Dehradun will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of heavy rain or thunderstorm. Guwahati will have generally cloudy sky with few spells of rain or thunder showers. Imphal, Shillong, Aizawl, Kohima and Itanagar is expected to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. In Gangtok, temperature will hover between 18 and 20 degrees Celsius. In Agartala, we'll have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually inaugurates and dedicates to the nation several development projects in Gujarat, asserts that infrastructure with its own character is the goal of the government. Prime Minister reviews COVID-19 situation with chief ministers of 6 states, calls for taking proactive measures to prevent possibility of third wave. Country witnessing consistent decline in daily active cases of COVID-19, says government. National recovery rate reaches 97.3%. Digital platform Kisan Sarthi launched to facilitate farmers to get right information in the desired language. Government launches 8 new routes to boost regional aerial connectivity from Madhya Pradesh to Maharashtra and Gujarat. Centre notifies jurisdiction of Krishna and Godavari river management boards. Indian photojournalist Danish Siddiqui killed while covering clashes in Spin Boldak district of Kandahar city in Afghanistan. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur expresses grief, and in cricket ICC announces groups for T20 World Cup to be held later this year. India and Pakistan placed in the same group. And with that we end the evening news. Good night.